Right. So yeah, that's the end of that. The three test series between the French and the All Blacks, and I guess that third test that we just saw in Hamilton, probably the best out of all the games in this series. The second test, of course, in Wellington, that was quite, that was utter All Blacks domination. This one, a much changed All Blacks really had to work hard and grind their way to win this one against a very resolute French side who really just wanted to end this tour on a high, end what's been a long season on a high. And yeah, look, I hope New Zealand media will give the French, a bit more respect next, for in the future, because it just shows you how strong the depth and the depth in French rugby. Okay, like while these, not all these players will, feature much for the French, but certainly there is, if any of the top French players go down with injuries, there are more than capable replacements there. And yeah, look, I guess a lot for the French. Yeah, this was certainly a tour of, to give experience to those who haven't featured much for the French. And yeah, and in a way, they'll be very pleased with the way things have transpired. So yeah, but there was, look, I guess, I guess there's not really such a thing as dead rubbers in rugby. Because yeah, look, while there was no, the Dave Gallagher Trophy was, certainly gonna stay in New Zealand. The series was done, but I think, all for all the All Blacks never want to lose a test, whether it's a meaningless game or not. So I think it was quite clear with this team that it was freshened up, obviously, with the injuries and all that, and coaches, selectors wanting to give the wider squad, everyone a chance to play. There was something to play for, and it really, really showed. Look, I mean, there were times when there was I guess it was quite evident that combinations hadn't, the combination was still working out. This was, the chemistry wasn't there at times, but yeah, by all accounts, it was it was generally a very superb showing by all 23 players. I guess you should mention, yeah, Duplessis Karifi up, in the coming on for J, coming on to the starting team at the last minute for a very unfortunate Luke Jacobson, who's surely got to be one of the unluckiest players around in international rugby, because he just keeps getting injured every time, so we never really get to see the best of him in the black jersey. And he doesn't seem to get the chance to show that the form he shows for the Chiefs can be replicated in the black jersey. But look, Duplessis Karifi was absolutely excellent, and yeah, just I think with him and Artie Savia, they really, they were an absolute menace at the breakdowns. Um, and yeah, look, I mean, Damien McKenzie had a solid game, as but I guess I think the question marks still remain whether he is really our best, the, he's our All Blacks 10. Still think it's definitely Bowden Barrett, but yeah, McKenzie, by all accounts, gave a pretty solid showing on his home turf. I would mention though, yeah, the standouts, standouts in the back line. Look, Will Jordan certainly, I think, was he is definitely he was the best back that we've got right now. The best outside back, like he's clearly our best fullback, but he's had to play wing for injury reasons. I mean, he wasn't really meant to play this test, but yeah, he just always looks really, really superb. And he got another. He scored. He scored a really superb try early on to the first All Blacks try. Yeah, he is well on his way to becoming one of to joining a that big list of All Black wingers and in terms of try scorers. But yeah, I guess for me, yeah, I guess you have the shout. A huge mention to Ruben Love, who got a chance to show what he could do at fullback, and yeah, look, he just looked absolutely really good carrying the ball. Looked always dangerous and sharp, and yeah, you have to wonder if you do wonder now. Right, if Bowden Barrett starts at 10, or it'll be 10, it'll be Bowden Barrett, Damien McKenzie. Would Ruben Love be an option on the bench? Because I mean, he certainly can play fullback. He might not necessarily be ready to play 10, but he certainly can play there. Particularly if Geordie Barrett. So yeah, that is something to watch. But yeah, so that's the end of that series, and yeah, it's a lot of positives to take out of that series. A lot of players have really stepped up, and yeah, there's certainly lots to look forward to. And of course, now we have a bit of a break, so yeah, hopefully, yeah, I guess I should mention, yeah, there was a bit of a scary moment for Noah Hotham, who went down with an awkward tackle, but it seems to be going all right, so be okay. He was moving after that, so we shall see. But what are your thoughts on the All Blacks, the series, who stood out on this test, and sorry, what about this test? And of course, if you like this video, feel free to like, and don't forget to subscribe.